Hi, beloved, welcome to your message. I thank you for your time. I really appreciate and value it. Let us tap in and begin with your message from God. Okay, just feeling this energy out. I just, it's like I feel the energy of being very lucid, like just very faded, jaded. God, communicate with us. God, talk to us. We have the Seven of Pentacles here. Okay, this is Taurus energy. We have the Knight of Swords, Gemini energy, as well as Libra and Aquarius. We therefore have the Eight of Swords, Gemini energy again, Knight of Pentacles, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus energy once more. Okay, so I'm tired already from this energy. I feel like this is you dealing with an energy. It's like tired at it's like in a form of like constant repetition. This individual, this is an energy of a feminine whom is now who has now become what they had been working so hard to create. It's like example, it's like someone who fantasizes about stripping and wanting to be a stripper for whatever reason is linked to the fantasies. Maybe this is someone that felt unseen for all their life, and it just that manifested itself into self-hate. Therefore, seeking validation from others was vital in the identity that they had to become. They had to be a center of it all. And what better job than a stripper, right? That's an example. It's like you are twirling on a pole, being not only, I think in this context of this feminine psyche, it wouldn't even be about just the example, guys. It wouldn't even be about the money being thrown. It's with this example, it wouldn't be about the money being thrown. It's sort of like the people's eyes, the image that is being maintained through this, stripping, this activity on the pole. It's like all linked to that fantasy of wanting to be seen, heard, and admired, because this is an energy of a feminine that didn't experience that when they needed it. It was like vital, crucial for them to experience it in their childhood, and they experienced rather a lot of self-hate due to their childhood experiences, and it led them to where they are now, um, constantly seeking validation from others, not able to just live a life outside of the eyes of man, not men, man, human beings. And now I feel okay, that was just like an example. So the energy of this feminine for the message itself is relative to someone who needs to be seen. It's not a want. In their reality, it's like they've co-created. No, they've mechanically manufactured a personality, a character, a way of being to create this elusive. It's not to, it's like to appeal to the world that they wanted to tap into. Back to that little girl, maybe that example of maybe before that woman became that stripper, they were, a little girl first who only wanted to be that, looking at it from the outside and studying it, and until eventually it's just kind of like you become it, and that's where this feminine energy is at. They've become what they've created. That's what I said in the beginning of the message. Link it to that. They've become the character that they've manufactured, this personality, this spirit. It's taken over. They're that now. That's who they are. That's what they wanted. That's what they attracted. That's what they actually created. We have the Three of Cups and the Magician. It's like that energy of, manipulating people. I feel like this feminine is very good at being elusive. Elusive is a synonym for deceptive. Deception. Like this feminine is very good at deceiving others because they've studied how to be the fantasy. And back to the validation, the seeking of it, the attention, the elusiveness of living that identity that they created was because of where it begun, wanting to be seen, but not having the right people that you actually want attention from. They're not watching you, they're not taking care of you properly, you being treated badly. It's like it affects you when you're young and you soak it up like a sponge, and as you grow, as you adult, it manifests itself into your psychological makeup. Okay, it's like you begin to think a certain type of way due to your experiences of life, not realizing that there is life outside of your life. And because your life was like that, out of your control, out of your choice, you were born into it, right? As the person, as this feminine energy was born into this life. They, I feel like they took upon their trauma. God, talk to us. We have the Nine of Pentacles here, clarifying the King of Pentacles. This is the Nine of Pentacles reversed. So we have a Virgo Piscean polarity point here. Virgo is the opposite of Pisces. So the Virgo Nine of Pentacles energy reversed is the polarity of Pisces, but Virgo nonetheless. So because Virgo and Pisces are the opposite of one another. Okay, Virgo is the opposite of Pisces. Pisces is the opposite of Virgo. So it's okay. I feel that this feminine lives a life of elusiveness where they dive deep into this fantasy that they created with this character they formed and manufactured in the world, and then it's like presenting it in the reality. In the beginning was just fun and games. It was a thrill, like everyone, like maybe like, you know when this feminine energy was a lot younger, they would get a lot of attention from being on this vibration and going about things the way they were, and it was self-fulfilling, more like a self-fulfilling prophecy that they idolized as a concept of life, as a way of being, running away from like the true trauma that is embedded in them due to what they've been through. It's like I feel that this feminine energy spends a lot of time running away from themselves, they child self, and then they claim to be working on themselves or to have worked on themselves when there is a lot of healing that needs to be done because of what this feminine energy, I feel the need to say dark feminine energy, what they've gone through. They were like, there was like emotional abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. It could have even been physical, and also it's like psychological abuse. Like, I feel that this feminine energy went through a lot, and it's like, as someone who is experiencing life for the first time, being gentle on yourself could come as a struggle because you are expecting yourself to know when you don't, like, and it's like not knowing can be scary when you feel unprotected or unsafe, or there's like a lack of clarity of self, and it's like understanding that that lack of clarity of self is a derivative of the grapple of control that this feminine comic, okay, this dark feminine energy, dark feminine spirit, this feminine energy is holding on to a grudge of like the treatment of others, growing up, like this is how they were treated, and they're holding on to that, identifying it as like them, like because I was treated this way, that means, this is who I am. It's like a sweetheart being bullied doesn't make the sweetheart a bully. They're just being bullied. And it's like, do you as a sweetheart in that moment allow the bully's voice to be louder than yours, where you take on the personality of the bully and you become the bully herself or himself, whatever. Or do you take accountability of the fact that you were bullied, find healing, and understand that you are not in charge of people because they're also here doing this for the first time. And it's the acknowledgement of that that will keep you grounded, because if you think you know, then tell us, then tell us about all these planets and all these, the sky being blue, and tell us about why we are just breathing oxygen, and why if you close your mouth and your nose for long enough you die. Like, if you are that, right, if you know all of that, and you are, like, it's like I feel like this feminine energy, I feel like it's very karmic in your life, right? I feel like they're being taught a lesson of like life, like you don't know. As soon as they take accountability and accept that they don't know, they will replenish themselves of this dark spirit, allowing themselves to be new and be a new student, this time to no teacher of no idol, no artist, no ideology, analogy of life, no concept, no poem, no none of that. One truth is God. Say a prayer to your father, child. You'd be surprised because he knows you better than you know yourself. You done wandering around and you got your freedom. Now come back home and really, get your shit together. That's the type of energy of this, that surrounds this comic feminine that came into your life for a reason, or you cross paths with, for a very special purpose, like specific, not special, specific, a specific purpose. God, reveal to us her subconscious, please, about my collective. I'm being called to take only the Six of Pentacles. Clearly, there's a lot in this person's subconscious, but this is what is relative to this message for you. Okay? Definitely karmic energy here, okay? Karmic feminine energy, karmic friend. It's like it doesn't have to be a dating situation, please. Broaden it. Karmic could be a karmic mother, like broaden it. Whatever was karmic to you, someone that taught you a great lesson, this dark feminine that you cross paths with, this lost soul that, made it into your reality somehow, right? By choice or not. Let's continue. So what's in the subconscious is the Six of Pentacles, which is Taurus energy, which speaks of giving and receiving. Back to the fact that when this karmic feminine energy was younger, they would not receive much, but they would give a lot. Like they could have been somewhat of a people pleaser, overextending themselves a lot. And that's not bad when you're young, because it shows how good-hearted of a person you were or are. And as kids or as young adults, energy is very serious and taken seriously because of the level of understanding of it. So when you experience things as a child, it's more heightened than how you would look at it if you were an adult. It's like a therapist and the person seeking help. You see the broader picture, the bigger picture as you are in your adult form, but only if you allow yourself to look, not running away from it. I feel like this karmic feminine keeps running away from what happened to them when they need to face it. And in order to face it is to understand it, and understanding brings healing. Like when you understand your trauma, you master yourself, you master self, you're on a path of self-mastery. How close can you get to God? What do you really know? you know because God is the only one that knows. How close can you get to him? What can he reveal to you? And what are you actually on? How powerful are your prayers, young man, young woman? you know it's like this karmic feminine is, they need to self-actualize a new perspective of life and understand how this works. It's not like, think about it, guys. It's not all black and white, right? We know that. That's why it's easy to freak out or tweak about this life thing, because a lot of things just don't make sense. But where you found grounding is that you don't need to know. Like, you don't know. Like, you just got here. How old is the world and how old are you, beloved? Like, you just got here. You can't put so much pressure. No one is allowed to know anything outside of like what is destined for them to know. I feel that this comic feminine is doing too much, where they're trying to overlearn and be too much at once or know so much at once. It's like, that's why there's only one truth, which is God, right? So that we don't get confused about this life thing. And y'all keep hearing it. We keep saying it. I say it every day. You know what I'm saying? I don't know shit. I just be praying, y'all. Literally. I'm just the vessel. And I'm telling you that with the utmost sincerity at heart. I don't trouble myself with things of the world, because it's taken care of for me by God. Do you understand that that's how it works? You have to allow yourself to surrender. And the problem comes in when you want to have control of what? Of the fucking sun, of the fact that we all die, of the fact that we fucking live on a globe and we all exist every day. Okay, take that, and then you know now, and you know how it happened, and you have past lives, right? Tell us then what happened in the war in 17 fucking 24. Wake up. There's a lot happening in this life thing, but the elusiveness in your state of being as a person should align with something outside of what you've created for yourself. It's like, what I mean is, this, it's like you're dealing with the sort of karmic feminine that was attracted to your light because of the darkness that filled their path of life. It's like you were a glimpse in something, like a light in the fog. You can't see, but you see the light, but you can't really, you know what I'm saying? And it's like that giving and receiving in their subconscious lies upon the fact that they feel like they gave too much into the connection and you did not reciprocate um, on the same level. But it's back to the fact that they just have a lot of trauma that they got to deal with. They keep projecting it and self-sabotaging, and it will be a never-ending cycle and loop that they will find themselves in, like karmic cycle, karmic loop, because it's linked to a lesson, and anything linked to a lesson is karmic. You know what I'm saying? We all have, some of us had karmic parents, karmic friends. Like, everyone has walked a different journey, and this person needs to self-analyze their life and what was karmic for them and what they need to grow and heal from. It's like I feel like this karmic feminine energy is very like dark in their way of thought. This is someone that can't relate to people emotionally because their heart is blocked. Like, they understand, but the empathy, they lack empathy. This is someone that lacks that level of understanding. See, that's why working on your childhood trauma is important, guys. Like, shit happens to us and we don't choose what happens. We need to align ourselves with the higher vibration, because it gets deep and dark. You know what I'm saying? I can sit here and tell you all the deep and dark shit about my life, but I don't got time for the deep and dark shit. I want better, you know what I'm saying? And I want that, period, and nothing else outside of that. And anything that is linked to any darkness, I release with love, and I move on to a life I'm seeking for myself. I'm not staying in that place. It's like having that mindset needs character. I feel that this is what this feminine, comic feminine, needs to understand about life. You know, it's not about what you've achieved and the money in your bank account. It's about who you are in a room, you know, of other people. Even with that, it's like someone being in a room of billionaires, right? And they're not a billionaire. They don't even got that thousand. You know, they just an average bystander, right? Because they don't have a billion. They had one, the only one in the room that doesn't have $1 billion or whatever, right? And then it's like, in that very same room, they're the only ones with the knowledge of what is actually going on here in this life thing. Yes, you got $1 billion in your account, but I know why I'm here and you don't. I know why I'm here and you don't. In a room of billionaires that live for all this hype and thrill around the currency, the frequency, the vibration of money. The vibration of wisdom and knowledge is greater than all because it's something that doesn't deplete. You don't gotta chase nothing to do nothing to, you just work your magic. Easy, right, kids? I'm joking, guys. I'm being cool to end it here. This was a message for you. I'm sending you nothing but love. Bye.